Evening. A few updates on ongoing projects. First being the Commerce Center pad site. We did have members of the Virginia Economic Development Partnership in town this past month to take a tour of the site, a brief tour of the site. We also took a tour of the Green Thumb Industries build-out that's happening up there in the center too, which was thoroughly impressive to see what they're doing up there and just see the activity of a construction site that large within Low Moore. The IDA did meet this past month, and we have released the contract to Branch Civil for the construction of the pad site. I've received the contract from the partnership. There's one mistake I found it, so I shot it back to them. I anticipate getting it back this week and us going under contract with them for the $3.29 million. Additionally, we have established all the easements for the relocation of Timber Lane, and everything's been processed and recorded for that portion of the project. So we're getting very close to call a pre-construction meeting and have a groundbreaking. I have been in talks with the town manager of Clifton Forge and the mayor of Iron Gate about potentially forming a water and sewer authority. It's just preliminary discussions that we're having. They've had independent conversations also with their boards. It's an exploratory stage, of course. It'd take a lot of prep to put something like this together, but we are currently having AECOM do an assessment of a preliminary engineering report for our water and wastewater system. In tandem with that, Iron Gate and Clifton has supplied information that they have on their systems, and they're kind of putting together a product for us that's going to show us how the system may work as one, and potentially give us information that would lead to some asset management planning in the future if we do move forward with that scenario. It's going to take a while to put this one together, and we're just in the beginning stages of it. Update on Wrightsville. Melissa did submit information last week to ask for an extension of the contract, and they have extended our contract to October 31st, 2023. Update on Phase 5 of the Jackson River Scenic Trail. The contractor, not much has happened this past month. The contractor's been waiting for a piece of equipment that is going to show up. We did have a meeting up there this week with the Hurt and Profit engineers and the team, and I anticipate him getting back to work on that within the next week and us moving forward with Phase 5 of completing that section of the trail. The restrooms are still slated to be set on the week of May 22nd, and we anticipate finishing that portion of the trail early this summer. I did get to meet with the Board of Elections this past month, and an item that you have to do annually known as the Local Election Security Standards is where we meet and just go over the security standards of the election, and I sign off on it. It was great to meet with that group. It's a good group of people working with that Board of Elections. The Piccolo Fondo is one of the kickoff events that we're going to have happening this next month. It's going to be Saturday, May 13th, with the Agony in the Alleghenies Grand Fondo Bike Race. The Chamber of Commerce is, of course, putting this on. It's one of their annual events, and as with any of their annual events, they can use volunteers if anybody would like to potentially volunteer for that. This past Saturday, Social Services held their Stand Up for Children event at Rosedale Park. Went over well. They had vendors out there, they had pony rides, and even had a cow out there at Rosedale Park. And it's just a great way to bring attention to some of the unfortunate things that some of our children have to go to. It's Child Abuse Month was this past month, and they did a great job on that event this past Saturday. The Alleghany Highlands Triathlon is going to be held Saturday, May 20th. The kickoff of the race is going to be at the Sharon Community Center at 9 a.m. One thing I forgot to put on the report, but it was really interesting, Dominion Energy invited managers to go visit the Back Creek Pump Station up in Bath County this past month, so I got a really good tour of it, and it's really impressive that something like that is sitting right here in our backyard. But it was managers from all over the place, including Alan from Covington and Mike from up in Bath County, and We all got a great tour of that facility. I was thoroughly impressed. I've never been in anything like that before. Budget work session. We've been able to meet as the budget committee a couple of times, and I think we're at the point where we could meet as a board and go ahead and knock out some of what we need to do going into this next fiscal budget. And I was going to propose potentially us meeting May 16th, which is a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. If everybody's schedule potentially is good for that. And what I would recommend is keeping this meeting open so we can roll into that meeting on the 16th. Yes.
What time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, Melissa?
Work session.
Does everybody seem good with that date and time? All right. And that's all I have unless you guys have any questions for me. All right, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
For your second order, coffee with sugar, honey, and whole milk.
Oat milk, please.
Oat milk it is.
Hear the quiet talking barista with Phonak
Have a great day.
Audeo Lumity, a hearing aid with smart speech technology. So no matter who is speaking, conversations shine with Lumity.